Hey, Jared. Hey, I was doing some math.
Yeah.
So I was figuring, well, there was 5 of us here in the barn, right? There's 5 of us in our household. So you'd think we'd be doing chicken math. We're surrounded by 429 Cornish rock cross meat chickens, but I'm not doing chicken math. There was 5 of us in the barn. Now there's 2 of us in the barn. So 3 of us went missing. What happened?
There's fixing to be 4 of them.
No, sir. No, sir. So, hey, welcome back to Twin Oaks Family Farm, rural Southeast Ohio, USA. Hey, there's one. Hey, man. Don't be bringing in McDonald's fries in here. Hey, you need to watch. Oh, don't give it to my dog. Drew, I got an assignment for you now. Oh, don't give it to the other dog. Hey, seriously, you need to watch Paul Saladino, MD, on the secret ingredient you never knew was in McDonald's. I'm just saying, you want to look it up. You'd probably be better off with a bag of potatoes and fixing it at home. So, back to the math. So, it looks like our people returned. So, there's one there behind me. There's one out there, one there.
They're just milling.
So, now there is 4 of us. So, now we're down to only missing 1 of us. Was he putting tools away?
Yeah, somebody's putting tools away.
Somebody's putting tools away. Well, let's hope it's him. So, we mentioned there's 429 Cornish rock cross meat chickens here. Welcome back to Twin Oaks Family Farm. We've been busy in the meat bird barn today. We're always busy in the meat bird barn anytime there's a flock in production. But different ages and stages of the birds, we have different tasks to be mindful of and carry out. So actually, this is the very first day that these birds, this flock, has had this big floor space. So this will actually be their growing and finishing floor space in the building. So the main part of the building here, relatively small building, but appropriately sized for 450 Cornish rock cross meat chickens at 6 weeks old. That was the goal with this building. We wanted to be able to go start to finish with meat birds in here in the same space. So when they first move in, they're just hatched and they're shipped in the mail their hatch day, and that's when they move in. So we actually kind of create a confinement within the building to make a brooder space. And in fact, here's heat lamps suspended from the ceiling. That's essentially the brooder space. You can come on in, Drew. Oh, I know you're just the delivery man, so no underage drinking, folks. No underage drinking. Hand it off to somebody of legal age if you hadn't reached your 21st birthday yet. That's all we're saying. So you can see where the heat lamps are at. So we have those suspended from the ceiling, but we actually just lifted them. They were dropped down here to about the height of the top of the large water dispensers. So we've been utilizing them. At first, with this flock, around the clock, we were utilizing the heat lamps. Up to recently, up to like maybe day 17, with this flock, we were using them just overnight. And now we've decided we lifted the lights. We're gonna give it a go with 24/7 no heat lamps. So we do know that these birds do want an ideal ambient temperature of about 80 degrees Fahrenheit, but they are approaching 3 weeks old. So at that age, we also know that they have a greater ability to thermoregulate on their own. And there's some other factors at play in their ambient conditions, including they'll share body heat with each other. So as long as they group up without stacking on top of each other, that's okay. So they can share body heat. Plus, they've been on this floor space. They're 19 days old. They've been on about 2/3 of the building's floor space for about 19 days. So they've been contributing manure load onto the bedding. And the bedding saturates with that manure load. And when we say saturates, we don't mean in terms of being soaking wet, but we mean in terms of absorbing the manure load. And so as the bedding material absorbs the manure load, it actually puts off its own heat. So it produces some heat, in fact. So they'll utilize that heat as well in their kind of thermoregulation in cooperation with their environment. And that kind of all works together to create the ambient conditions. But at this age, approaching 3 weeks of age, they do want ambient temperature of about 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Today, right now, as we're recording, it's about 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is perfect. And you can see they're quite comfortable. They're resting. They're relaxed. Several are eating. Several at the waters. They're spreading out throughout their space. They're very happy. And we're approaching a time of day where we'll be able to open this east side door up again and have all 4 sides of the building open and optimize cross ventilation and airflow. So that's awesome. So we got Wade back in the corner filling water. Gonna have to coach Drew more on his selection of French fries there. He's still finishing up the fry box. Oldest son Owen. So those guys have been working on several projects. The panel in that doorway, storing the poultry transport crates on the wall, setting up all these waters and feeders within this floor space, and completing this short wall that's a barrier to keep the birds on this side of it. So we've got things pretty much set. So what my husband Jared is doing is filling all these feeders. They'll hold 40 pound a piece. And so so they're taking empty feed sacks out. We have a lot of these feeders. Does anybody remember or anybody count? So there's 2 rows of 5, so that's 10. We have 2 sitting in there, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 15 of the silver ones. And then actually this plastic dispenser here is a feeder. So really 16 of them that'll hold about 40 pounds a piece. And then we now have on the floor 9 of the waters that will hold 25 gallons each. So the guys are filling those. So we added feeders, added waters, filling the feeders all up. And one thing we're also trying to work toward here is actually using as much of this feed that's stacked right here as we can. And what we can't get into the feeders, which looks like the feeders are full, we're going to probably move that stack and just stack higher on top of the storage freezers. And there's actually 3 pallets stacked up there. We're going to get those out of the building. So, you know, want to be mindful. We know that we have a lot of open feed stuffs in here, and we know that it's fall. We know that we're bordered by farm fields. So we want to be mindful of getting as much off of the floor over there in the storage space as we can, and not giving rodents extra places to hole up to make a nest. So we want to try to get those pallets out of here. So that's what they're working on there. But these birds are 19 days old. So we've recorded several of the projects going on in here today. And that actually helps us because we'll be able to preload a lot of that onto the YouTube channel here and have things uploaded and scheduled so that it's already accomplished as we start the work week and try to work through the work week, because with a full send schedule, it's sometimes tough to make new YouTube videos, get new YouTube videos uploaded. So when we can do them ahead, it really helps us out a lot. So we enjoy y'all checking in with us in the comments and giving us your feedback. We hope that you'll give the video a thumbs up, and we hope that you'll interact with it in the comments. But really, really pleased with this flock. So if you didn't already know how chicken is made, thanks for joining us, and thanks for taking a peek inside the barn, aka food factory, aka chicken shack, whatever you want to call it. But this right here, when you're enjoying your wings, chicken wings, when you're enjoying your barbecue chicken, when you're enjoying the chicken drumsticks, the fried chicken, when you're enjoying the chicken breast, right here, this how it's made. So we're not jumping on the lab produce chicken bandwagon, we believe this right here is how chicken is made. Farms are our greatest food factories. Farms are our greatest food factories. So obviously have some more coaching to do with our young adult guys over there. We don't want to be seeing folks driving through the fast foods. We don't want to be seeing folks relying on convenience foods. We really want to circumvent that and share the message that wholesome, nutritious foods can be sourced from local producers and farmers and ranchers where you live. We encourage you to heart local ag wherever local is for you, and that's our way of saying eat real food, source it as close to home as you possibly can, and please, please, please support farmers and ranchers and producers wherever you live, because we know that consumers do need agriculture, but we also recognize that agriculture needs consumers. So we hope that you will seek out and connect with farmers where you live. That's part of our inspiration to have the Twin Oaks Farm Poultry YouTube channel. So thanks for joining us. If you have questions about raising meat chickens, put them in the comments. We answer what we can, we research what we need to, and we generally enjoy reading your feedback and trying to reply to all of it. And that's another little thing about YouTube. It gives us notifications on most comments, most communications, but sometimes a notification doesn't come up or we miss one. So if we would happen to miss a comment and you think we didn't see it, just try commenting again, and I try to check them as closely as possible. But thanks so much for joining us, and please do really take to heart, consider sourcing as much of your food as close to home as you possibly can. Even consider producing some of your own food. It's really rewarding when you look at your plate and you produce some or all of what is on it. God bless y'all.